Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's the Colorado Alpine. We do hiking, fishing, hunting, anything we can get our hands on outdoors. We're doing it, we're filming it. We're trying to just share everything we can with you guys. Today we're doing something very special. Going on a pronghorn hunt with my little brother on the eastern plains of Colorado. It's just going to be a good old-fashioned bro down on the prairie. Come along with us, it's going to be a good one. What up everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Heath. As you can see, I got a truck full of gear loaded up. We are gonna go on an epic adventure this weekend. I have a pronghorn tag and Hayden has a pronghorn tag, and we're about to head to the southeast corner of Colorado, go chase some speed goats. So got everything loaded up. I'm just waiting for Hayden. He's on his way here. He should be here in about 30 minutes. And just gotta load up his Yeti, his pack, and some clothes, and we're gonna head out there. We should get there a little bit before dark and maybe be able to do a little bit of glassing. We've never hunted this area, but Hayden dropped some points on this. He put like 4 points in or something to get this tag, and then I actually have a doe tag, but it's for a different unit. So if we have time on our way back, we might stop and hunt that area, which I've hunted before. But Hayden's unit is totally new. He actually gets 3 units on this tag, and lots of public land. So we're about ready. Let's hit it, guys. Come along with us. It's gonna be so fun. Homeboy just rolled up in the Silver Bullet. Alright, so we're heading out there to the eastern plains. We have a couple different cameras with us on this trip. We have a couple iPhones. We're also shooting with a small Canon Handycam as well. And we have our spotting scope and our phone scope so we can kind of get some long range footage. Unfortunately, when we got home, we put the SD card into the computer. We looked at the footage, we reviewed it. We were like, oh man, it's so cool. And then we got to processing the animal. Somewhere in the mix, we have lost the SD card. So unfortunately, a lot of the footage of the animals that we did see and that we were stalking, and as well as the kill shot, have been lost temporarily. So hopefully we can get them back. If we do, we'll definitely put them into this video and just be able to share that footage with you, because it was truly epic. We got the whole kill shot on camera, and it's just a bummer that we lost the SD card. But sometimes that's just the way it goes. So anyways, me and Hayden, we stopped to get some food, and then we quickly got on the road and we headed out to our destination, which was about, I want to say like 4.5 hours from where I live. And on the way out there, we were just seeing pronghorn left and right, and it's beautiful, you know, pristine pronghorn country. Grass prairies, canyons, pinyon juniper kind of mixed, also some cactus country. Just really beautiful. So the first spot that we rolled up to, public land, we kind of just pull off. There's a little fence, actually a little pull off right there, and we were just glassing. We didn't see anything, and it was kind of the late afternoon. There was a big storm rolling in, so we decided, let's go up to the next part of public where we can actually kind of drive in, and we'll set up camp. We'll kind of glass along the way, and big storm comes rolling in, and it's kind of moving west to east, so the rain is coming in west to east. Hayden sets up and he sleeps kind of on the more western side of the tent, where it's just getting rained on constantly all night. And when we woke up in the morning, the poor guy, his sleeping bag was soaked, his clothes were wet, and he was just not really feeling good. You could tell he was real congested. He had kind of had a cough, and poor guy, I felt really bad for him. Waited for like 4 years to get this tag. We go out there and we camp, and it's a rainstorm, and he gets soaked and kind of compounds his sickness that he already had. So made it a little tougher that first morning to get up, but we still got up and we were trying to get after it. Alright y'all, it's opening morning, and we just packed up camp, and it only took us maybe like 20 minutes or so, and we got some burritos. It's about to be first light. We're gonna start heading down this little road up here, kind of start working some of these public sections. But nobody's been driving in on us right now, so that's kind of nice. So looks like we might have this little section to ourselves. Anyways, guys, if we see anything, we'll let you guys know. We'll give you guys some updates along the way. Let's get after it. Let's do it. Opening day. Woo! So when we woke up that first morning, we pulled camp, and we were trying to be mobile, so we put everything in the bed of the truck. And then we cruised down a dirt road that we were just camped off of. Nobody had been in there, so we were glassing, looking around. We didn't really see any pronghorn. So we kind of got out of that allotment and we went back to the highway. We drove down maybe a couple miles to the nearest little town there. As soon as we got out of that town, there's a big herd of pronghorn off to the right side, and we were glassing them up and we were filming them, and they were in the wrong unit. So the highway kind of divided the unit. They're on the wrong side. And then we started hearing shots from the other side where Hayden's tag was good for. And so we kind of look over there and we see these pronghorn just hauling butt across the prairie. And you can see a bunch of does and a really nice buck in the front. As soon as I pulled him up in the binos, you could hear shots going off. And there was a truck maybe 100 yards behind them just going parallel with them down this road. And they were in the prairie and they're just shooting at this buck. And so we thought maybe we should drive up this other little road, and if these guys blow these pronghorn, they might go across onto this other public, and maybe we can kind of get set up in front of these guys. And so we kind of drive down the road. That doesn't really happen. So we turn around, we drive, we go to some more public. And as soon as we go into this new section of public, I spot some pronghorn way off by this windmill. So we decide to drive down this little road and we go through the gate. All right. Came through this allotment, and we were just glassing, and we glassed up another herd, and it looks like we're the only ones probably out here on them, so we got to go up the road. There's definitely a buck. He's chasing does, and they're probably like, man, he's probably a mile out right now, so we got to go up the road a little bit and get parallel with them. They were going south. Now that he's kind of running does north, so like a little bit of a fire drill here, but we got to get going. And these roads are so muddy. We see the buck and the does kind of on the horizon, so we get out of the truck and I'm like, let's just kind of walk up there. So we start walking up there, and they just would not stop. They just kind of kept feeding, and we couldn't even get footage of them because they just kept feeding and kind of went over the rise and down this little hill where we couldn't really see them. All right, going back to the truck. Well, those pronghorn were down south of this windmill down here, and then the buck was chasing the does and running them, and he kind of ran them north, so we went more north. And as soon as we got through the gate, he like wheeled his does and took them back south because there was a vehicle coming from the north. And so we kind of got down here and we saw where they had kind of came across. Hayden got set up for a second on the buck, but it like moved before he could shoot it, so it was a smaller one. So then we started walking out in this field behind us, go see if we could see it, and we actually ran into another buck that was even bigger. And of course somebody was coming down another road a little ways away, and it spooked him, and so he took off. So I don't know, I guess you could chalk those up to maybe like one stock, maybe, I guess.
Yeah.
About one stock. So yeah, we've seen a lot of pronghorn this morning though. Now we're going back to the truck and we're gonna go find some more pronghorn to hunt. They're out here though, they're thick.
Yeah, if we stay in this area, we need to come right back to this spot pronghorn.
Yeah, they were in here like crazy. They had, I wonder if they were watering at that water mill, or that windmill, because that's where they were. We were gonna go check some more public land and just kind of keep working these sections of public. And when we get back to the truck, we drive up just a little bit, maybe a quarter mile up, not even that far. There's kind of a windmill off to the left side, and it's on that little high point that we had kind of glassed off of earlier. So I was like, hey, let's just go check over here real quick before we leave. Let's just see if we can see anything. All right, guys. Crazy turn of events. We stopped up here and we were gonna glass off this windmill up here because it's kind of a little high point.
And as soon as we got there, Hayden's like, there's Pronghorn. So we relocated that herd. And it looks like either they picked up another buck or there was 2 bucks in there and we just didn't see the other one. So we have 2 bucks. They're quite a ways out. They're on private right now, but I mean, they're like 10 yards from the fence line and they're running does. So if those does take them onto public, we might have a play on them. I ran back to the truck, get the spotter, get the tripod, see if we can get on these guys. He's jacking around. Where's he at now? Do you take her back south?
A little bit.
All right, we tried to relocate those bucks, but they were chasing doe so hard and they ran up over the rides and we couldn't see them. So we made a big loop around back into the public and have not seen a pronghorn since. So I think we're gonna go to a whole new area and go try something else. Go hit some more roads. I mean, pretty much any county road you can take, and then there's gonna be some public somewhere on it. So it's pretty much the plan. Keep seeing. We saw like 20 pronghorn today. Saw one really good buck on public that we were trying to get a shot on, but he just spooked too much. So we've been after him today, just haven't really been able to really get a good stock or get a good clean shot at one yet. So we're still hunting. Another fence gate opening. All right, well, we found some more pronghorn, or we glassed them up. They're quite a ways off, but we're gonna go see if we can get any closer and see if we can identify if it's a buck or a doe. Looks like there's probably 1 or 2, but they're kind of meandering amongst the cows, so we'll see what's up. We saw those pronghorn, but we couldn't make a move on them. And at that point we were kind of stumped, like, what should we do? Should we keep working? We've seen so many pronghorn. Are we gonna, go to a new area that just doesn't have any pronghorn? Is this where they're really concentrated? We started to talk about the saying in fishing, don't leave fish to go find more fish. And we kept saying, well, maybe we should apply that in this sense, like, don't leave pronghorn to go find more pronghorn. So instead of going to a whole new area, we actually kind of just backed out of the spot where we had saw this new herd and get back on this kind of county road and take the county road up and then kind of dive off into the public and kind of get to the backside of that private like we kind of originally planned and see if we can make something happen. And then we kind of pull up where there's kind of a T in the road. This is the road where the big buck got kind of spooked off of earlier. So we kind of parked right here and we're like, well, this is all walk in over here. Like, you have to walk all into this stuff. There's that little long section of private right there that we have to watch out for. It is fenced. We do have our Onyx maps with us. So we felt pretty confident that we could probably park and maybe just walk over there and just see if we could spot any pronghorn or see if that big buck was just right over the hill or something like that. So we're continuing to walk, and then I stop one more time and I kind of look out to my right, and now I can kind of see 2 pronghorn not too far from where we were, about 1,000 yards out. I look at them through the binoculars and I'm like, I think that's a buck. And then I decide to pull up the tripod with the spotting scope and I put it on and I'm like, heck, it's a buck. By that time, this silver truck that has scared the big herd from earlier and the big buck from earlier takes a U-turn in the road and then comes back to this other road that's heading towards us. And they get on that road. This buck doesn't like that and he starts running towards us. I tell Hayden, get ready, he's running towards us. So Hayden drops the bipods, loads one, he gets on him. The buck is running at us and the truck is kind of trailing behind. So we don't really have a shot because Hayden would be shooting right at that truck. The buck starts coming in, and finally I can get a range on him. I hit him, it's 316, I tell Hayden, 300. And then I hit him again and it's 313. I'm like, yeah, definitely he's right at 300, but he's getting a little closer. And then a couple seconds later I hit him again and he's at 287, so I know he's coming in really fast. He comes in a little bit further and I range him one more time and I know he's within 200 yards. So I tell Hayden he's within 200 yards, the gun is sighted in at 200, so just put it right on the crosshairs and you should be able to get a nice clean shot on him. So this buck kind of runs behind these bushes, obscures himself, and then he runs out to about 95, 98 yards, and the whole time Hayden's moving the gun with the bipods all the way across the prairie, and he's still keeping up with the buck. And then we both start whistling and calling, "Hey buck," trying to get the buck to stop. And sure enough, I could see him slowing his trot, and then he comes to a stop, and then he turns and he quarters right to us. And I told Hayden, I was like, right there. And as soon as I said that on camera, Hayden pulls the trigger and he hits a perfect frontal shot, and the buck just crumbles right there, right in his tracks. Both of us, we couldn't believe it. We were hugging and cheering. Yeah, it's such a bummer that we didn't get to save that on film, because it was amazing. It was a really cool trot in from really far out. He came all the way in, and we just kept shouting out ranges, and then he turned broadside. It was just, everything was just perfect. It just happened perfect.
But holy cow. Dude, I can't believe the camera here got it. What do you think, man? The thing just came charging at Hayden, and it's like from like, how far out do you think he was? Like 700-800 yards, and he just came charging out from that, where that shade is, past that stuff. Came charging through here right at us. Alright, well, we're going to do regular gut on this guy, because we're going to maybe keep the hide and have it done up. Well, that's all that's left. Coyotes can have a little bit of neck meat that's pretty damaged, but picked it pretty clean. Not much left. We got 2 hind quarters, front quarters, gut pile, and then we got some all the ribs, and we got back straps, tenderloins, and some flanks and scrap meat in there. And the head, just gotta put them on the mystery ranch. Head back to the truck, which is like right there. It's in the shade out there. Yeah, we didn't make it very far into our excursion on this guy. Our goal was to make it up over this rise right here, where we saw some bucks earlier, but obviously they never made it there, and they were still running out in here places. So anyways, we got on them. Got a buck down on public land, first one. So sick. Loading up the mystery ranch, pretty easy. Just kind of unbuckle this one up here on the cellway. Opens up the meat shelf, and that's where you can put all your meat. You're good.
Alright, are you ready? Are you ready to rock?
Oh, yep. He's got the entire Pronghorn back there. Pretty much all of it, other than the scrap meat. Yeah, Dougie. Right, we're back at the truck. We're heading back to the closest little town. We're gonna go get some ice for that pronghorn. We got him in the Yeti, so he's all quartered up. And yeah, we're just heading back to go get some ice, and we're probably gonna head to the area where I have a tag and go see if we can fill a little doe tag. We still got one more tag. It's kind of crazy, so
Yeah.
we're still going after it, and we're gonna drink some Red Bull, get amped up.
Yeah.
That was epic. That was so sick. That thing came from like 1,000 yards, ran up to like 300, and then just kept coming in to like 95, and then just stopped, and we drilled them. 243 did work at 95 yards.
We headed to town, we got some ice for Hayden's buck, and then we decided to head out to the area where my tag was good for, which is a very popular, very small section with not that many pronghorn. I've hunted there a couple of times, so I knew exactly where to go and kind of where I wanted to camp, where I wanted to hunt. So we decided to head out there, camp out, have another bro down on the prairie for another night.
And the mosquitoes are bad tonight. Last night we had to battle the freaking rain, and you can still see the water on the side of the tent.
Today we got a battle in malaria.
Yeah, today we're gonna have to battle freaking the mosquitoes. They're so bad. But anyways, we're cooking some hot dogs. The camp chef. We just set up camp. We're in the Eskimo. And yeah, we're just at this spot that I've been to before. And tomorrow morning we're just hopefully gonna wake up and just walk across, and we gotta climb this little hill and go back this little section of public back here, and that's really the only spot here, so it's probably our best chance for a pronghorn. But probably go check it in the morning, then maybe drive around a little bit, see what else is around. There's a ton of people out here on this part of the property, part of the area. Trying to kill a mosquito.
Dude, that's when I'm gonna burn their ass.
Some hot dogs. Doritos.
Yeah, he just burned himself.
Boiling water. I went to put those tongs in the water and grab a hot dog, and it slipped and splashed all over my hand. About burned me. That cold. No, it's a little cool out. Day 2, good morning. We're out here on this piece of property, and there was a dude camped up the road probably like just a couple hundred yards, and when we got out this morning, I accidentally set off the alarm on the truck, and I'm pretty sure he was hiking into the exact spot where we were gonna go, so I didn't mean to do that. But we saw his light across the way, and he went up the ridge and onto the top of that little flat mesa where we were gonna go. And there's been people driving since 4 o'clock in the morning when Hayden got up puking because he's super sick. And then he when we camped out last night, it rained and he got completely wet, and so I think it just kind of made him sick again. Anyways, we're gonna go hit it. We're gonna go hit it, and we're gonna go drive around now. So we're gonna change our plans, go cruise around a little bit. There's only like one little section of public that we can hunt in this entire unit, so and there's like 500 tags, and it's only like 18,000 acres or something like that. So it's loaded with people. People driving around since 4 o'clock. The dude just came down and parked 20 yards from the truck.
We're glassing the same meadow as he is.
He's gonna glass this meadow that the guy already walked through this morning.
We're gonna share this meadow.
We're gonna both glass it. We're gonna share this meadow. We're both gonna glass this half-mile by 200-yard wide meadow. No, we're gonna go somewhere else. This guy, what the hell, man. We're here at this spot we just parked. Some private fence behind me, but this is pretty much as far north as we can go on this public stretch, and there's kind of walk-in access only back here. So there was a fence crossing up here, but there's like a camp up there, and the dudes look like they're already breaking camp, so maybe they already killed. But we're gonna park here, and we're gonna get all loaded up. We're gonna hike in and head in a little bit and go see if we can glass. And there's a couple little canyons we gotta cross. I don't think they're very big, but go back in there and see if there's some pronghorn. Maybe there's a doe or two. See if we can get a shot off, get a doe down. Be pretty sweet. We're glassing off into this thing. We've started like way down here, glass all around. Not a single animal. I haven't seen a deer, I haven't seen like a coyote or a pronghorn or anything else, so probably head out of here pretty soon. There's like not jack anything out here. There's no roads really, other than like one really far out there by the windmills. It's like a couple miles away. There's nothing out here. Alright, we're back at the truck. We didn't see a single thing. And it's starting to get warm, so we're going to head back to camp, probably pack that up, and then go check a couple more spots on the way out. But lots of people, not very many pronghorn. It's pretty typical of this place, though. There's like people everywhere. Even on our way back, we spotted some people, 2 hunters, even on our way back, and we were pretty far out there, so we're heading back to camp. Alright, well, we pulled camp, came to this other little section of public land, 650 acres of property. Here's 2 dudes up on the skyline hiking, and another dude glassing down the road. So everywhere is really packed in this place, even like these little tiny places. So we have one more little spot to check on our way out, but we're kind of on our road home.
Well guys, thanks for watching the hunt. I know it was not the best footage, and we lost the kill shot and some of the awesome animal footage as well as some pretty good B-roll footage, and we still wanted to share it with you, and hopefully you still enjoyed the story and were able to either connect with us on the hunt or the story or the area. Hopefully you guys are inspired and maybe want to go on your own pronghorn hunt. I would say for any western hunter, this is the one to go for, to sink your teeth into some big game western hunting. The pronghorn are super fun to chase. They're delicious despite what a lot of people say, and they're really cool. They're just really fun hunt. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If we find the footage sometime in the near future or in the late future, we will be sure to add it to the video and kind of piece this story together a little bit better for you guys. Thanks for watching, guys. We really enjoy it. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications. We're going to be putting out a bunch of content this spring and throughout the summer. Hopefully we have some really good hunts lined up for this fall. And just thanks for your support. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. See you guys next time.